Hi, good evening, everyone. Welcome to today's episode with Calculus. What's up, everyone? How you doing? Can you share the link on Slack? Let's get more people in. Let's share link on Slack and let's get more people in. Yeah, good evening, everyone. So I believe so much well that we have completed our tasks for the week. And then there's not so much left to do. So today we're going to be talking about what you should expect from next week tax, the mini project tax, basically. And then from that, we would also look at what you should expect from the tax next week. Next week's tax is is the mini project, right? Yes, mini project. And for the mini project, you expected to see a landing page design, that's going to have contact us, about us page, and the task specifically is that you should design a website for a library. Examples of libraries are university library, state library, and like that. So you'll be designing a landing page for a library, where people can sign up, log in. It's going to be I will explain also in today's office hour. But before that, let's see if we have people that have questions. Let's address those questions and then we move from there. All right. Okay. Let's get the questions. I see a lot of the questions have been answered though. Whoa, lots of questions. Wow. Oh, sadly. All right. Let's pick those questions one after the other. And let's address them. Right. We should address them. Let's just make this in a bit so you can get the drums. Someone says, after creating your styles, both for typography and color, how do you use it in your design? Okay. When you have created your styles, how do you use it in your design? I just want to believe like you have not been following I'm on this of or you've not been following. All right, so let me just do a quick recap, right? So that we don't just go it's tiring when you have to keep doing it, right? So see an example here, right? This is an example of a rectangle that I have colored blue, and I've used to define our primary color, as you can see on the left here, right? I've added the star. This is an example of a typography called paragraph/O1 that I have defined here as a star. Now, how do I use it? Every time I write a new text, say I write a new text called button, you get now. Let me just, for example, let's say the text is in serif DM serif, maybe the text writing it is in 24, whatever. I just need to come here. Can you see my mouse? I just need to come here, click on style, right? And I see paragraph 01 and I select it. Immediately it changes. So if I make any edit to paragraph 01, everything is affected. I want to believe the person that asked that question is here. I just want to believe, right? Everything is affected. The medium, everything becomes medium. Light, everything becomes light. Regular, everything becomes regular. By size 24, everything becomes big. Can you see? If I reduce it back to 18, everything reduces size, right? So that's how you use styles. The same with color, right? I've defined the color here already. So if you draw a rectangle, a box, or anything you draw, for example, and then you want to color, you just click on this 4 dots here. You see primary color, you just click on it. So if you ever go ahead to say you want to edit the primary color, and you say you want to change it, everything changes primary color, right? Yes, because everything depends on the primary color. Okay. All right, that's for that question. Auto layout is not a standard for creating your alerts, right? Use frames, is fine, as long as it works. I think for the classifier, I just want to play me up JSON to assignment. I wasn't ready before they missed the deadline, your laptop. I'm so sorry. I'm really sorry that you couldn't submit, but there's really nothing we can do, right? Right. Okay. Someone says how to do a landing page login sign up. Kilo day. How to do a landing page login sign up. Go and research, please, right? And between, we are not in week 4, so yeah, I mean, obviously, but just go and do your research, right? How do you want us to show you how to do a landing page login sign up dashboard? What then is the project for? The project is your work. It's project. Call it project. Do you ask lecturers to come and do projects for you? You do your research, you do your stuff, you present your work. That's all what you do for a project, right? So please, yes, that should be the situation. All right, thanks. For the landing page mini project, can we select either desktop or mobile view? Landing page, do mobile view. Do desktop. Please, let me repeat, desktop, not mobile, desktop, all right? Not mobile. Thank you. Good afternoon. I've submitted the tax. What's that? But found out later that the link is inaccessible to others. Yeah, I was unable to resubmit the link and the task has been created. There's no way to correct the issue. I'm sorry. If you submit an inaccessible link, yeah, there's no way to correct the issue. All right. So one thing I differentiate with, okay. We'll just chill with your questions on YouTube, right? Let me address the questions here. All right. Please release the correct answers to the intuition Figma. I got 2 answers wrong and the grader did not give any feedback. I don't know which ones I got wrong. We're so sorry about that. We have told graders to always give feedback. It's going to be feedback are going to get, you're going to get feedbacks, please. All right. So sorry about that. Someone says, I've done my typography, but I'm unable to generate the text styles using Styler. Okay, that plugin, right? How do I generate styles for typography? Is there any method? Do I need to create one by one? Help you out. I told you yesterday that I create mine one by one, but if you want to use the Styler plugin, you need to learn how to use it. I don't use it, so I better not try showing how to use it, right? There's no point for me showing how to use the Styler plugin because I don't use it. But you might want to watch the class again to be able to use it. I create my own styles one by one. It's been a while I did it, right? That's why I'm saying this. It's been a while I created styles. Most of the projects I worked on in the most recent months already have defined styles, right? So that's what I'm saying. Someone says, hello Caculuz, well done to you. Please, I need help with how to duplicate icons on Figma. Secondly, can we do this week tasks on different page on it? This week's tasks on different pages of the same file. Style guide, just do on the same page, right? Don't do different pages, right? Then for this first question, duplicating icons, I don't know what you mean by duplicating icons, but then it's just a copy and paste, right? This is an example of an icon. So let's say this icon is out here, right? See, I just even duplicated it right now. Just need to Control D, right? This is it. This is another one. Just press Control D, right? Another version. Control D, another version, right? So you can duplicate icons, okay? Coming to, I think it's selection color. Yeah. So just copy, right? Control D to duplicate icons. All right. Okay, so that's that for that. Okay, so let's go. What's the next question? The style guide for week 2, it wasn't explained. It's so confusing. The video of that white guy was even more confusing. Please help. I believe that you don't just want to understand, right? It's fine. I understand he's an Indian and his tone might not sound like Nigerian, but then if you keep getting biased, when you start working with international teams, right? How do you get them to understand them? How do you want to understand them? The video, other persons watch the video and they understood. I don't know what you want me. Do you want me to explain everything that is in the video now? Or what exactly is the question? Someone says spacers, it was not explained in the video and the video resource did not help. Please help. We've explained spacers times without number, right? Spacers are not special things. All you just need to do is show a spacing grid, 8-point grid system. This is spacers, right? This is basically what we are asking you to do. This thing here is what we are asking you to do. 8 point from 8, 16, 24, 32, 64, 50, 48, 64, right? If you go on and on, there's 72, make it 72 to here and there, 72, right? Keep going on and on, it gets getting bigger. So this is spacers, right? So the point of spacers, like Fola explained yesterday, is to help your developers to know the spacing between elements, right? The accurate spacing between elements, and to know the spacing system you are using for. The point of doing this documentation here, so that your developers can know the spacing, and other designers also can know the spacing system you are using for your product. Or spacing this system must be accurate, right? Okay, so yeah. So that's that. Why are they here to grade me? This question sounds very weird, but then it's fine. They are here to grade you because you are in their thousands, and we are not even up to 20, as mentors or as tutors. And you can imagine we are teaching you and we are also grading. It's a lot of work, and we also have our full-time jobs, right? So we are teaching you, and then we are also grading. So that's the reason why you've not been graded, right? There's a lot to grade. We grade thousands, we grade hundreds every day, basically, but it doesn't got into you. So it's going to get to you very soon. Thank you. Someone says colors that fall under gray category, must they be black? They are called shades of gray, right? So it's not necessarily black. Like I showed you example in my design system. It's not necessarily black, but then there must be shades of black, gray to darker gray to lighter gray, that kind of. So someone says, when embarking on a project, designing a website, are other colors allowed? That was not part of style guide. No. You include them in the style guide. It happens, right? You are designing and then you want to add new colors. Include them in your style guide. But the moment your colors are becoming too much, you are designing rubbish. But then include them in your style guide. Thank you. After creating your typography and color style, how do you use it designing? I just explained that. I hope you were also on this call. All right. Yeah. After creating my text, grouping it and making it a component. Your text, why did you group your text? One. Number two, why did you make your text a component? Like, why? I don't understand. And I'm unable to fill it with colors. You want to fill your text with colors as the box disappears. What box? And only leaves the text filled with color. What are you talking about? Please, can you assist how I should go about resolving this? I cannot make multiple buttons with component. Are you talking about buttons or text? Now I'm confused. See, after creating your text, grouping it and making it the component. You group the text and you made the group a component. Is that what you are saying? Let me see. Does that magic work? I've never made a group a component. Like, it doesn't happen. How would a group be a component? But let's say this is a text, for example. Let me group it Ctrl G and then let me make it a component. Yeah, this is a group is also a component. I mean, it's a component. Okay, cool. It works. Let me try and understand the question. You're unable to fill it with color as the box disappears. Okay, this is a group. This is fill. I'm filling my group right now with color. Okay, I'm trying to recreate your problem so that I can understand. I just filled my own. They said it only leaves the text filled with color. The text filled with color, please. Okay, I think I understand your problem. Now you are not filling. You are filling the selection color. The selection color you are filling. Please, the person that asked this question, come here right now and listen, right? It's very easy. And you have created, first off, don't group your text. Use frames, don't use groups, right? So let's just assume you had used frame, for example. So you had used, you should press Control Option G, right? This is a frame 100. And then this is fill. See this thing fill here. there's no fill at all there. So if you want to color the box, if you change the selection color, it's only the text color you are going to be changing, right? I hope you are listening. It's only the text color you are going to be changing. I hope you guys are getting me. I hope you guys are really getting it, right? So because I see some of you now, you're not listening to what I'm explaining. You are not learning from other people's question. You're only concerned about your own question. You'll be very shocked when you will have the same problem and you do not know what to do. And then there is no other office hour that will going to help you fix it. Or then your question does not get attended to. Listen to every question I'm giving solution to. It doesn't mean only for the particular person that asks the question, please. All right, so let's go. So if you are trying to just change the color of selection colors, right, it's only the text that's going to change it. But what you have to do is this fill. You have to click this plus here and add a fill. You can see a white default is kept there, and then you can select and you can change the color right at the background. So you can even add a primary color. Choose your color star, right? You can break it up and then you can do whatever you want to do with it. Okay, I hope I've answered your question. I hope that was a problem. All right. I am having difficulty making my spacers 4x4, 8x8. After drawing the rectangle, I'm not seeing where I can resize it. Okay, so if you want to resizing is not an issue, right? You just need to come here, like I said, like you saw me do here, right? You just even need to set the width. See, once you click on a box like this frame, just come put your cursor at the edge, right? You see it changing to this stuff here, so you can actually pull it, right? And you can resize. This is how to resize, or you just bring it down here. You can resize, or then you can resize as you wish, right? You can resize as you wish, but then you just come here and set the sizes, right? Come to the right hand panel here and set the size 72, 72, 64, 64. Just set width and height 32, 32, 24, 24, 16, 16, 8, 8. Right, just set width and height. All right, so I hope that answers your question. While working on typography, you don't just use text and continue to press enter for the new text, because for each body and headline, I selected text in new and my text keeps overlapping with each other. No, don't press enter. Where do you see enter? Don't press enter or just duplicate, right? You might just want to duplicate. When you just move it or press Ctrl D, see, so you press Ctrl D here, right? You press Ctrl D, it's going to move it, duplicating it. Are you seeing? See, it's duplicating. See, it's following a pattern safe. Stuff is very smart. If I put it here now, see, replace selection. I move this one here now. If I move it here, duplicate selection. Stuff is very smart, right? Smart. Yeah, so just duplicate the text. Do not let it overlap each other, right? Yeah, all right, that's for that question. Someone says for the week 4 tags, how do we duplicate the style guide we created, to another project? Okay, so this is it, right? Duplicating your style, there's something we call, you can actually import styles and components, right? Let me give you a very practical example. I hope you understand this. I really, really hope. Okay, so let me open my design system, for example. So let's say this is my master design system, right? And then let's say I want to use my master design system to work on a project in UI UX class, right? So this is my master design system is a different file. My UI UX class is a different file, right? Can you all just chill with your questions, like on YouTube? Just chill, right? Like, do you know that I'm not following YouTube to answer questions? So maybe you should wait till I tell you to ask your questions on YouTube so I can find them, because I'll not scroll up to be looking for your question. That's one truth you should understand, right? Okay, so this is my master design system, right? Colors, typography, icons, spacers, buttons, input, alerts, blah 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 blah. I have checkbox, I have toggles, I have toggles, I have radios, blah blah blah, stuff like that, right? Tons of stuff. So let's say I want to use this design system or style guide. Let's say this is where you created your style guide, right? I'm not saying you should do your own in different pages. So I have documentation for each of them. That's why I'm having them in different distance. So let's say you want to use this style guide, for example. So let's say you want to use this in another app, right? First thing you have to do is that you have to actually come here. I think you have to publish the style guide. Oh, got lots of folks on it. This is crazy. Okay. So yeah, you have to publish the style guide, right? Come in. Oh no. So if you come to assets, for example, and you see assets here, click on this on this book, theme library, right? Click on theme library. So because there's no change, that's why it's telling me published and up to date or something. Let me make a change. What should I change? So let's say let me change my primary colors, right? So if I come here and I change my primary color, let's say I change it to like blue, right? Well, why is it not even changing? Okay, so let's say I change to blue, right? Something like this, right? Okay. So let's say I change to this blue, right? You can see that it has changed here, right? And it has changed everywhere I'm using it. So if I come here, assets, I click on libraries, yeah, that's this book or whatever it's called. You can see publish 8 changes. Imagine I just changed colors, right? But then it's telling me that I should publish 8 changes. Why? Because my primary color is used everywhere within my app, right? If you go to my buttons and stuff, you see that the colors has changed because I just changed the color from one place, right? So I can publish this design system, blah, blah, blah. And then once I publish it, it updates it publicly. Now, this is what happens. Let me just go back from the wall. Now, I hope this is my primary color. Yeah. All right. So now let's say I'm in UI UX class now, and I want to use my design system in UI UX class. I just come here. I come to assets also under UI UX class. I click on this book, whatever it is called. Then you can see under why of as Caculuz design systems, right? All of these other design systems are design systems of other companies, right? So I can just come here and say, I'll turn it on, I'll toggle it on, right? If I toggle it on like this, see, now it says libraries available in this file. Can you see now? So Caculuz design system is turned on in this file. Sure you get. Do you understand now? So now in this file, then once you see it's turned on, if I go here, for example, now, you'd see that if I click on a button or something here, I'll be able to use Caculuz design system. Are you seeing Caculuz master design system? I'll be able to have primary, secondary, success, neutral. I have warning, I have shades. Imagine all my design systems are already imported. It's not only the styles now. You can see also that if I click on this now, textiles also, textiles, you can see already that Caculuz master design system. And you see I am headline, I have all my textiles already imported here. That was just by adding that. Then also, if you come to assets, right, under assets, you can see Caculuz master design system here. If you open it, you can see I have my icons opened up here. All the icons in my design system are already imported here that I can make use of, right? I can literally just make use of any of them, right? You can see, just bring out all these ones were in my design. You can see they are under Caculuz master design system, right? So in my variant, can you see button is here, text field is here, what again, my checkbox is here, my alert is here, my toggle button is here, right? My spacers is here. Can you see it? See my spacers, 8 pixels, right? I can change it to 16, change it to 24, change it to 40. Can you see? Change to 40, 48. That's my spacers, right? See, all these things are in my design system, but I basically just brought them in here by just enabling it here, right? So if I click on off right now, like I toggle it off, you see that everything has disappeared. I toggle it on, master design system, Caculuz master design system is back in this file. I toggle it off, is off, right? So now if I go to my design system here, for example, now imagine you can see that my design system is living somewhere else, right? So I don't want to make changes to this design system because so many so many what's it called? So many so many products of like files are dependent on design system. That's why I don't want to make change. If I make a change to this primary color right here, right now, and I publish it, if I come here and say publish, yeah, it's telling me publish 7 changes, right? So if I publish it, I have not been publishing changes. I can review the changes, what change you can see. It's telling me, because you can tell me, you can see all these things that is telling me change, right? Because the colors actually changed, which was my primary color, right? All the things depending on them actually change. Do you understand? So right here, so if for example now, when you just do your own style guide, when you come here, like you have not published that or what you are going to see this publish on this current file, you see publish here. If you publish it, it becomes public. If you now go to your new file of the project you are working in, for example, you will see it here, and then you'll be able to toggle it on. Do you understand? Yeah. Do you understand? So yeah, if you see the web, or you can see I have tons of design system, product here, the Zuri Richard design system, many companies, like stuff like that. So yeah, so that's how to use it. Right? I can see how I just toggle it on, and in this new project, I'm able to bring in my alert, bring in my button, bring in my text field. You can see in my text field, it comes in everything that it is, right? For example, this text field, I can select it as a search text field. Can you see from a search, I can select it as maybe search tag or combo select or text area or file picker, you know, different kinds. It just imports everything about it. This is my primary button, change secondary button. Can you see? And I also have it as my minimal button, error button, everything. Same in my text fields, indeterminate, selected, you know, unselected. The same thing, the toggle button, right? If the toggle button wants to have a label, if it's checked, if it's not checked, if there's no label, if it's checked, you know, everything about my design system really just came into this file because I allowed it. Same with my spacers, right? This 48 pixels, there's 16 pixels, as you can see. There is 32 pixels, as you can see. All my spacers are really just imported in here, right? So that's really how to move your design system in, right? Okay, so yes, I've done a good work by answering all the questions on the form. Please don't ask questions again. Yeah, just joking. All right, so that's that for that. Let's get right into questions on YouTube. Okay. So let's get into questions on YouTube, right? I'm looking for your questions. You see, that's why I don't want to scrolling up. You guys are can you ask questions now? No. You can actually publish Olamide. Yeah, but then you have to be using I think you have to be using a premium Figma. I think so. I'm not sure. Yeah, but maybe. I think so. So okay, someone is asking, is there a systematic way when making buttons, is there a systematic way to determine the font width and size of button text? There is actually, but it's kind of complicated to explain, right? Advise people as much as possible, just use medium. See, medium determines on your font the kind of font you are using, right? So just use medium. But when it comes to size, you're making a button of 48, right? Let the size of your what's it called be 16. You're making a button, but a what's it called now? A button of 48 pixels, right? Let the size of your text be 16. Do you get? If you are making 32, let the size of text be 12. If you are making 64, it can still be 16, or you try 24, or just try something. There's no, I don't know a systematic way, really, sincerely. All right. Let's say, how many pages should the library mini project have? What do you mean by how many pages? If you're talking about Figma page, I'm not sure you want to have multiple pages, just have one. If we are talking about what's it called now? Talking about like the pages of the library, like it must be a library website, right? So all the pages you need for it to be a proper library website is all you should design. All right. Let's see, please, can I help with iconography? Telma, sorry, not Telma. I don't know what you mean by I should help. Like, I don't get how I can help. How can I help you with with iconography? Is it weird to get icons, or what exactly is the question? Someone say, what's the standard height of buttons and input field? There are no standard heights, right? But there are just some that kind of work. For example, 48 is a very balanced height for both text fields and for buttons, 48 pixels in height, right? But then it is not a standard, right? People use 56, people use 32, people use 64, people use bigger than that. I think in a recent project I did over the weekend, I used 80 or 96. It was very big. It was the design style basically, but yeah, it was very big, right? So there's no style to it, sincerely. There's no guide or whatever standard. Someone say, explain how to create buttons and spacers. Adam Sanusi, I'm sorry, but I'm not going to do that over again, because I've done that more than 7 times this week already. Okay, so you might want to watch those previous classes. I feel like you've not followed them, or you've not watched them, or you are just attending the first office hour, right? So creating buttons, as you can see on my screen, these are tons of buttons that was created in this class, right? So I clearly explained how you can create buttons. As you can see on my screen, this is text fields, right? I clearly explained how to create text fields. All right. So that's it. Spacers, you can see spacers here. I even explained spacers today again. All right. So thank you. How do we go about the input feed for different states? I don't know how you mean. Oba, Yemi, Taiwo. This is input feeds, right? You just need enabled, over, focused, error, and some other ones that you think might make sense. Just think of a product, right? When you enter a wrong password, it tells you error. That's why we have error text field. When you want to start inputting, when you see a text for the first time, that's enabled. It's just there. When you over on it, when your mouse comes on it, it changes state, right? Now, when you focus on it, when you click on it, right, it has a different kind of state also. So that's just it. You just need to keep redesigning how it will look like. All right, so that's for that. Someone says, please, can you do a quick step for color system? Quick steps. What do you mean by quick steps for color system? I don't understand what you mean by quick steps. You just need to create your primary, your secondary colors, your neutral colors, and then maybe success colors, warning, errors, and you can have more than 3 secondary colors, or you call it tertiary color, whatever you like. You get it, right? So I don't know what you mean by steps. Steps simply means that you want me to show you and you want to do it exactly as I have shown you, which is a clear indication of you don't want to put in the work, right? Sorry about that, but I won't be doing that. Okay, thank you. So what's the next question? The frame seems to be disturbing to the eye. What do you mean by the frame? What frame is disturbing? Is it my screen you're talking about? I'm not sure. Miracle Daniel is saying, help with the library website, like a guide. You want me to show you how a library website should look like? I don't know how a library website should look like. You should go ahead online and search for how a library website. I'm trying to check for you online right now because I don't know how it should look like, right? Okay, there's this one that I've seen online. I just know it's a digital library. So I don't know, it's not a digital library we're talking about here, sincerely, right? Open library, read book, borrow book. There are different, just go online and search library websites. You'll see tons of library websites, right? I don't know how you want me to explain. Like, I don't know what to do, to be very sincere, right? So, like, just go online and check, see our library. If you are confused, go to Dribble, right? Dribble and go and check samples of library websites, right? All right, thank you so much. Someone saying the warnings and error etc that we have to create. Do we have to add close icon? What do you mean by close icon? Error. The error for what? You say warnings and error. Is it for alerts? Is it for text fields? Is it for what exactly? Let me get that. All right. So Faith is saying, how do I increase the size of my icon after copying from the icon field? Okay. So let's say you've copied an icon, like for example, let's say this is a plus icon and you have copied it and then the icon is here. Let me add the color. Let me change the color here. Make it permanent color. So this is the icon, right? And you want to increase the size. If you move it like this, you can see it's distorting a bit. I know that's the challenge you're having. It's not making sense. All right. So all you just need to do is hold down shift. And as you hold down shift, you're able to expand accordingly and reduce accordingly. Another trick is to just come to the right-hand panel here and just set the size, right? 24. Once you have this stuff selected, this thing here, it means that you want to control both the width and the height at the same time. So once you select 24, it is changing, together. All right. So I've answered the question. Faith, Bumi is saying, please, I created a style guide, but I can't seem to publish all the stuff in the style guide and use it in a project. Why? Why can't you? If you come here, you can see my own file. This is my own file. For example, if you create the style guide in this kind of file, if you come to this book place, if you come to UI/UX class, click on publish. That's all. Publish. Just click publish, and it's published. All right. Thank you. If you don't see publish, okay, you're not using a paid plan, right? I don't know if Figma moved it out of paid plan. I know they've done a lot of things. They've reduced a lot of things to free plan like they used to have, right? So that's one thing I don't know, right? Bumi, you can actually, right? So this is what you can do. If you are not publishing your style guide, right? You can copy all those files and take it to your new file and then start creating those styles in your new file. For components, they will appear automatically as components in the file, right? If you copy all your components, your buttons, everything to your new file and have it as in a different page called style guide, or just use the same page that you used to do your style guide, open a new page for the other project, right? So that you don't have to be duplicating and having multiple files for the same project. You get, so you can also do it like that. It's not a must to publish, all right? So say, okay, how do you duplicate and copy icons packs? Icon packs. You can't copy icon packs, right? So you just have icon packs. So this is an example. So this is ViewSac icon pack. Can just go there and copy from it. I'm not sure you can copy icon pack. You get Thelma. You can copy the pack and just, yeah, right. So, okay, Rukayat is making it clear now that it's telling her to, it's telling her to do what? What's this? Okay, she's saying, she's telling her to create a team to publish, right? You have to have a team. Okay, a team, right? So you might want to have a team file for you to publish, right? So I think so. Maybe that's the change that they made, that's the change that they made to design, like to Figma rather. So yeah, you may want to try creating a team also so that you can publish, right? All right. So Gift is saying, do we submit the link with anyone with the link can view or can edit? Can view, not edit. Gift can view. Faith is saying when it appears on the frame, it's so small that increasing the size is so difficult. Oh, I understand what you are facing, Faith. Okay, so when it appears on the frame and it's so small, you just need to zoom in your screen, right? Just press Control or Command Plus, or if you are using, I think you can use your trackpad. If you're using a Mac, your trackpad can zoom, like zoom in. If you're not using a Mac, I don't know if your trackpad can zoom. I'm using my trackpad to zoom right now. I'm zooming in and out, right? But if you're not using a Mac or whatever, you can use Control Plus, right? I'm using, this is Control Plus. Control minus is to reduce. Control Plus will zoom it in, right? So you can imagine. So this is an example of when it's too small, you can't click on it or you can't select it, right? It's too small, it's tiny, it's far away. You press Control Plus to zoom in, right? And if you're using a what's it called? I think it differs for Windows, right? But then I don't know. But then yes, Control Plus is going to zoom in, right? So there's a way you can use your mouse. If you're using an external mouse also, right? With a Mac, it's Control. If you press down Control and zoom up, out, and in, you can view. I don't know how it is on Windows, but I think Control should be. It's been a while. All right, it's Control should. I think it should. If you press Control and you are scrolling up and down, it should also zoom in and out also. All right, I hope that helps you, Faith. On that question, all the colors and text meant to be from the style guide, like creative style guide, use them. Don't detach your styles. Yes, you must use all your colors and text from your styles. Stella is saying, okay, Stella is answering a question. Okay, all right. Is there a way to create auto layout and remove the frame tag above the auto layout? What do you mean by an auto layout and remove the frame tag? The frame tag. How do you mean the frame tag? Are you talking about this frame here that is written? Why do you want to remove this frame? Like, why do you want to remove this frame? That's the beauty of the auto layout. Like an auto layout, see, this is an auto layout, has an auto layout on it, and then there's a frame tag. Yes, fine. Why do you want to remove the frame tag? All right. Okay, Olabi Manuel says this question is for alert. Okay, the warning and error for alerts, right? It's not, yeah, you can add them or you may not add them. Anyone is fine. All right. Shift, okay, say shift did not work, but control plus would work, control plus or control minus. So say, please, aside from views like icon, which other icon can be used? There's iconly, there's many icons. See, I don't use lots of icons, right? I'm not a big fan of multiple kind of icons. So my project, if I'm using a project where there is no custom icon or the company does not have their own designed icon, right? What I do basically is to use ViewSac, right? Sometimes I check icon leave if ViewSac does not have the icon I need, right? And sometimes I create custom icons. I create the icons myself when I've checked and I didn't find, and I don't have the energy to keep looking for, right? So, just check the Figma community. Just type icons. You'll see lots of them. All right. There's icon sacks. Okay, cool too. Can you explain everything on buttons, especially how to create variants? Ogichi, this is very, very hard for me to do, right? Because that's what I've been doing since the beginning of the week. Today it's supposed to be like a catch up, and I'm meant to give you a breakdown of what to expect in the tax next week, right? I feel like we have done that a couple of times, creating buttons, variants, and components, right? You can see tons of buttons here, and then in variants, right? We have created all of them here. I don't know how. Maybe you should watch the videos again, right? So I think that would possibly help. Do you get, like you can see up here is a button that we have created, and then we made a component by clicking on something up here. And then you can see this is a variant of the button. This is small version, this is big version. We created variant by editing the button to a different size, and then clicking on it and then clicking up here to add variant, right? And then yes, we duplicated them and then show the power of a component and how once we delete one icon, for example, everything gets deleted because everything is looking up to these components, right, as the main component. So that's a quick sum. I'm so sorry. I know it's not quite explanatory enough, but please try as much as possible to check the other videos, right? There are also tons of videos on YouTube also that can help you understand how to create buttons with variants and components. All right, so how do I make a selected icon look thicker, like increasing the outline? All right, I know that's a problem that lots of people face heavily. Come in, I'm trying to see, what can I do for you? All right, so see an example, right? Do I select that? Oh, wait, come in. I think, sorry, I have the selected icon here. So this is an example of an icon. For a person that asks that question, you want to do something with strokes, right? Come to your layer. Can you see? I'd selected it already. I just pressed Command or Control, and I clicked on the stroke. And then this is the second stroke, right? You can see, oh, this is actually supposed to give me, but then I can add strokes around it, right? So if I make the stroke 4, you can see, unfortunately, this one is not getting bigger. All right, so that's because this icon, it doesn't work for all icons, sincerely. All right, but then it works for some. Let me look for one that's going to work for. Let's go to view sac. Let's pick an icon. Let's go to icon grid. Let's go to essential. Let's click on this send icon. This is send icon. Let's copy it to C. Let's come back to UI UX class and let's paste it here, right? So let's say this icon is too thin, right? Let's say we need the icon at a size of 64, right? So you can see, okay, this one still looks okay, right? So let's just assume it's too thin, right? So you just have to keep opening up a component like this, right? And then so that you can edit the component. So it's supposed to tell you, unfortunately, I don't know why the icons we've been selecting are doing this way, but then we are supposed to be able to edit the strokes around them, right? Sadly, I don't know how they did these icons. This is ViewSac. I mean, this is not my first time using ViewSac. So basically, what you're supposed to do, what basically happens is that you'll be able to, what's it called now? You'll be able to edit each of the icons, right? You should be able to edit them, the strokes. Wow. It looks like the updated ViewSac, right? That's how it looks like. All right, you should be able to edit those strokes individually, but maybe ViewSac doesn't have that problem. See, the width is actually increasing. The stroke of ViewSac is increasing, so they don't have that problem again. Some icons don't do that. Those icons, you can open them up to see each of the strokes, and then you can add more stroke to it, right? So if you come across those kind of icons, all right? So that's for that question. Someone says, how do I make How do I make selected icon? Okay, that's you can't create a text style. Can't find the text on the right hand side. Why? Why can't you? If you click on a text like you have written down, for example, this is a text. You see text now. The reason why you're not seeing a text is because you did not click on a text. Just click on any text that you have typed down. You'll see text here, right? All right. Someone say, why are we publishing it? It's not a must to publish. I just showed you how to do it. For example, if you are working in a company, right, they will have a special file for design system, and then you don't tamper with that file. Everybody uses that file in their own different work. So you're working in a company that has a mobile app and a web app. You have a team that is designed for mobile. You have a team designed for web. It can only be web, right? And then it can only be web, and the web project is very large. For example, look at the Figma team. They have different things. There's Figma, there's Figma. Everybody's designing in different spaces, right? But then there's going to be one design system everybody uses, and there's a set of people managing design system at all times, right? So as much as possible, right? You want to publish it. Because you don't want to tamper. For example, now imagine as I had brought in all of this. Let me show you the power of publishing and using. See this button, right? Or look at my color, for example. Let's say I want to edit this error color. Can you see? See, I can't edit this color. So, for example, let's say we are working in a team, and then you have defined our style guide or our design system in a separate file, and then we are importing it to use it. No matter what I try to do, I can't edit this style. I can break the style, right? For example, I can detach the style by clicking on this detach style here, right? And then I can do anything I want with the color. But it is only it is only making change on my own file. It is not changing globally, right? So that's the power of it. So everybody must use what is defined by design system. You have to go to the style definition to edit. And if you are not given permission to edit, which obviously you might not be, but if you are part of the core design team, you would be, right? You'll be able to go to the style definition to edit, but then you can't edit it yet. Same goes with every other component, right? You can't edit the component except you detach the component. And when you make any change, it only changes on your file and not everywhere, right? So that's it. Someone says, okay. Someone says you are emotionally stressed and downcast, precious. Sincerely, design is very hard, right? And in general, tech is hard. You just need to understand that. We just need to understand really well that when you want to get something good out of life, right, you need to put in the work. That's always my advice to people. You don't expect something new, that is strange to you, something you're just knowing for the first time. You don't expect it to be easy. Some of you are just in your first 2 months, 1 month, 3 months, 4 months. So many of you are not up to a year in design, right? You have no reason to get stressed. It doesn't get better. The only thing is that you get better in designing. You get to design faster. But then the stress of design is what every designer lives with, right? Because as designers, we are always creating from nothing, right? Because every time imagine you're working as a library designer, everything is blank in your head. You're even wondering that where exactly do you start from? That is how it's always like as a designer. Everybody comes to the meeting, the CEO, the product manager, the developer, everybody's just talking, blah, 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 blah. These are the features should look like. We want to be able to do this, blah, blah, blah. In the end, everybody looks at the designer. When can we get something to see? All of them are talking. It's easy to talk, it's easy to think, but it's hard to do. The person that is doing first is the designer, right? So the whole bunch of work always lies on designer first. Developers, when they see your design, then they know what to do. So if there's no design, they don't have what to do. There's nothing that's going to happen. So designers are very powerful in companies, and that's why design is a very stressful work. On some days, I wake up in the morning, I have work to do, and then for the first 5 hours of the day, I'm blank. Like I basically don't know what to do. I'll just be playing around the Figma board. Sometimes I just sketching on Figma, just trying to scribble some things together, just trying to make sense out of it, right? But by the end of the day, something interesting comes up that we can iterate from. So I know that design could get really stressful, precious, but then I just want you to set your mind that nothing good comes easy, right? And then there's so much power that is vested on the hand of a designer in making a product successful. You don't want to flop, right? So make sure you are learning well, and you are learning very well, all right? Sending you lots of love and light. All right, so Stella is saying, okay, I think guys were trying to answer the question. How do you move to a premium Figma from a starter? You pay money, Samuel or Latuboso. If you want to become a premium Figma user, you pay money, pay Figma money, you'll be paying them monthly. All right, so that's how you move. Let's say, how do I remove an icon from a frame? It's very easy, just remove it. Like as you said it, remove it. This is a frame, right? Frame. remove it. Just remove the icon, right? Select the icon and drag it out. That's all. All right. Can you quickly show how we made the toggle button? All right, making the toggle button is not okay. Let me show how I make toggle button. I know I've not showed. That's the reason why I'm doing it, right? I've not showed you how to do toggle button, but I believe that you have one way or the other gotten it from somewhere, right? So, for example, this is a frame, for example, with height of 16, right? Just given a height of 16, right? I'll give you a distance of 64 rather, a corner radius of 64. Then I will pick a circle. Let me just pick a frame so you understand, right? I pick a frame of equal size of 12, I come and place it in here, right? And then I give it a border radius of 64 also, right? And then this main frame, I give it a color, a primary color, right? And then I bring this one to the front. Let me see, bring to the front. Where's bring to the front? Oh, sorry, I need to give it a color. Is it color? This is the frame I'm talking about, right? Oh, I was giving them both color, right? So not that, give it a color of white. That's what I wanted to do, right? All right, can you see? I just made a toggle button super fast, right? Okay, so this is a toggle button already. It's a toggle button, right? Then you just come here and then you create, what's it called, right? You want to create like deactivated mode, right? So let's say, for example, deactivated mode, right? It's still white. Come here. Let me just I'm sorry, not detach the guy, and then just give it some shades here, right? I'll just give it some shades from here, right? All right. So this is yeah. All right. Can you see? So this is a toggle button, super fast. All right. I hope you saw how I did it, right? Yeah. So it says, can you get a link to previous session from my calendar? It's not my calendar, it's on YouTube, right? Is it okay to remove frames from icons because no, don't remove frames from icons, leave icons in frames, please. It makes it easy. I'm just starting designing with this class. I will only be able to play the videos that we're giving us. I just hope that's what's needed. By this class, I mean Zuri. I don't understand. Oh, Zuri. Okay. Yeah, I get it. All right. Please, which of the days do you explain style guides in general so that I can? So I explained I just explained around, right? I explained on Tuesday and then I explained yesterday on Tuesday in my office hour, and then yesterday, all of what you are seeing here, that's when we did this. All what we did here was from yesterday, and yeah, explaining all of these reads and stuff like that from yesterday and Tuesday, right? All right. So says, someone is saying, what advice do I have for people resuming back to school since they called off the strike? I mean, you just, you know what? You need to you need to understand why you started designing, right? And then you need to understand what life really is sending your way, right? Some students are in courses, right, that they know that nothing tangible could come out of it really sincerely, right? And some people have decided to take design. So if you want to take design serious, don't drop design as you're going back to school. But if you feel like design was just something you're using to while away time because of the strike and you want to go back to your studies, then totally fine. Do what you want to do, right? So, but if you're going to be designing and schooling, you want to manage it, it's going to be difficult. Never strive to be the best in academics, right? You will just keep hurting yourself because it will never happen, right? Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm not saying you won't be best. Please, that's not my point. My point is that it's going to be very difficult to manage, except you are not serious with design. Okay, so why did I use a frame instead of a shape for a toggle button? What do you mean by a shape? What's a shape? Like, okay, maybe I use circle. All right. I love using frames for my work. It makes it very easy. As you can see, you won't take different. If I had used this, you see me wanting to, what's it called? You can see it just made it very easy. It was aligning very easily. I don't know. It just makes it very easy, right? So I always use frames for all my work. That's why. There's nothing special. Can you use rectangle in place of frames? Sure, why not? Use it if you work. See, let me just show you it can work, right? Because some of you are beginning to doubt. Maybe you have done the work and you're thinking you have done nonsense. No, you have not, right? But using frames is just much more better, right? I'm telling you from the bottom of my heart. All right. Okay. So this is an example, right? And then I'll frame it all. I'll give it a border radius of 64 also, right? So that's the same. Then I'm picking circle, right? I'm picking circle also. And it's a circle of 12, right? and I'm bringing it here also, and I'm making it white, right? Can you spot the difference? Not really, right? But then me, I just enjoy using frame, okay? But then see now, see what happens, right? This rectangle is different, it's separate. This ellipse is separate. You now have to select the two. Is it that you frame the two of them and then you have a rectangle ellipse, or you group them, whatever you like to do, right? I don't like seeing groups in my work. But then for frame, the moment I created this one, it just entered into this frame, right? And fitted in, like, and they just became one, right? Like they were joined together, like what God has joined together, you get. So yeah. All right. Okay, my time is up. How do you like remove component? I can't find it, not control Z. Remove component. You have what we call detach component, not remove component, right? So this is a component, for example, you can see, you click on here, say detach component, right? So it's the same thing as pressing Option Command B, but then just click on detach component, right? You can see that's detached, but then just press Control Z to add it back. All right. Okay. So thanks so much, everyone, for today's officer. You didn't let me talk about next week's class, right? You guys had tons of questions. We're totally fine. I enjoyed explaining all of these stuff to you all. I'm so happy we're able to cover them all. Yes, like Deborah Blessed said, frame is better, frame is powerful, frame is the way of a designer's life. I just sounded somehow. All right, so frame is good, frame is nice. Always use frame. That's my advocation. I tell you to use frame, always use frame. Do not use groups. I don't like to see groups in your work. If I see group in your work, there's nothing wrong, right? I just don't like seeing group in work. Frames are powerful, frames are whatever you like to call them, right? But then I love using frames. I always use frames, and I use frames alone. Frames for my text fields, frames for my buttons. I don't use rectangle. What the hell is rectangle? I don't know what that is called, right? Frames everywhere. Frame. Always frames, right? Everything is frames. All right. Okay. So thanks so much, everyone. So happy to be able to share all this with you. A quick catch for what is coming next week. Next week is a project, means that we will not be doing too much showing, right? Meaning that you guys would have to do lots of the work. You're going to do research work, not too much research, right? You're going to be doing the research on how to design a library website. Make sure to check for samples. The power of a designer does not lie in being able to come up with stuff by himself. The power of a designer is being able to do proper research and then join everybody on together and bring out a new thing. That's all we do on a daily basis, right? In designing a new login page or want to design a landing page, what I do today, I don't just think. Sometimes you get some strange thoughts and you want to try it out, right? And those strange thoughts are not really like your thoughts. They are as a result of other designs that I've seen everywhere. And then I want to bring some things together. I did that over the last weekend, and I did a crazy design, right? I was all very happy about, right? So, but sometimes you have to, and it was, I won't totally say it's my design. It's some things I've seen different places that I've not tried out before, and it was an opportunity to try all of them out, right? And but then the best of the times, right, especially when you are doing company work, do your research. You have to do things that work. Your CEO will tell you, this competitor, this is how they did their own. This now you are doing. So you don't want to invent stuff, really. You get. I mean, we've explained that to you so much of times, right? So do your research. Talk to. I'm saying talk rather. Like, check other websites. Go to dribble.com, dribble. Let me just type it here so you understand. dribble.com. Go to behance.com. I hope I get the spelling of Behance, right? .com. Is it .com? I don't know if it's Behance.com. So this is it, Dribble, Behance. Just check Behance. Check. There are so many other places you can find, right? Go to, I think we gave a resource. We gave you a link of resource like lapa.ninja. Yes, Lapa.ninja, right? So just go and check for those resources, right? Fill your head with ideas. Check tons of work, right? Just fill your head with ideas, right? All right. So I just hope you guys are able to do very much fantastic work by next week, and hope to catch up also on Tuesday on our office hour by 11 a.m. There's an office hour on Monday, or like with other mentors, right? With Uduak and with Fola. All right. So we'll catch up once again. Thanks so much, everyone. Bye, and enjoy the rest of the week. Yeah, enjoy your weekend, basically. All right.